our top 10. Weekly top 10.
Awesome.
It's a list. There's 10 things.
I hate about you.
It's in
Oh,
it's actually
sorry. Fucking crushing my
all
timing
day.
today.
All
So
mean to me
sorry.
all day.
So sorry. My
This
bad.
article is taken, or this top 10 list is taken from the hop culture list. There was 9. We added another one because we felt like it was important in Who Wants Top 9 list. Not me, I want top 10. Just want all 10.
Just because we're using unconventional things doesn't mean you gotta throw out unconventional numbers like a top 9.
Top 9.
Tech 9?
Tech 9.
All right.
Let's get us rolling with number 10.
We're rolling into number 10. Taprooms must embrace evolution. All right, we've hinted upon this, evolving beyond just serving beer. They're becoming cultural hubs, these tap rooms. Customers now seek experiences like events, community engagement, and diverse food options. Looking forward to 2024. The shift in consumer expectations challenges tap rooms and breweries to offer more than just new beer releases.
Yeah, it's like we've been talking about that. Yes.
Yeah. No, the list was very confirming. Made me feel good about myself.
Yeah. Take time for traditions. Craft beer trends are circling back to traditional practices. German customers like Kolsch service and I can say this one to do the other video. Bierstellen. Bierstellen.
Hot poker in
the
your
hot
beer.
Poker, yeah. Are gaining popularity in U.S. breweries. The trends include Czech style side pull faucets, English style cask ales.
Yeah.
This is, a revival of historical beer practices and is part of the broader cultural cycle, reflecting the desire to reconnect with the past while innovating for the future of craft beer space.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go back to Cohesion.
Yeah, Cohesion is great.
That was so much fun. Number 8, love for the lager landscape. Chelsea alluded to that earlier today. A little bit of foreshadowing. 2024 is predicted to be the year of the dark lager.
Sounds like a good year to me.
Oh my gosh.
I've been craving dark lagers too.
So much.
Right? Like randomly I've just been like, I really want a dark lager.
Sounds really good right now. It's
I
like
had one yesterday.
Oh, from who?
I don't remember. Called Arms, actually, I think.
Called Arms? Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. I'm sure they crushed it.
That's good.
You're the dark lager in the craft beer industry. Light lager's popularity is rising with significant check-ins on Untapped.
Yeah,
but the dark lager trend reflects a shift in both brewer innovation and consumer preferences, moving towards well-crafted, traditional style lager styles.
Yeah. And then number 7, West Coast is back.
Guess who's back?
West Coast
Coast is back.
And it's not just West Coast IPAs either. These styles are resurging in the craft beer, moving from beyond just the IPAs. Breweries are diversifying their offerings, shifting from a heavy focus on hazies to include other hoppy varieties, and as we talked about, dark lagers. West Coast IPAs, long overshadowed by hazies, are now re-emerging with a fruitier profile using newer school hops, and this trend is extending to other styles like West Coast Pilsners, indicating a broader shift in customer preferences and brewing approaches. I think it's showing like a lot of like people want the fruit, they don't want just the bitter of the hop, but they don't want the extreme of the hazy, and I think it's a great balance.
It's gonna be a beautiful year.
Yeah,
beautiful year.
I think I'm gonna really dig them.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I
like them.
Seen some great West Coast already, but yeah. All right, number 6, hops. Brewers are now innovating with hop extracts, oils, and frozen products, not just new hop varieties. So this aims to enhance the flavor and aroma in beers while addressing practical concerns like increasing yields and profits.
Hey-o.
This is my surprised face. All right, given rising costs and limited price increases, brewers are focusing on maximizing ingredients use. Terms like cryo, Lubamax, CGX indicate beers brewed with these methods, signaling a trend towards more cost-effective and creative brewing techniques.
Well, it's got to be, right? Like,
has to be.
I mean, costs are going up. You got to keep that cost down, or pints are just going to keep getting more and more expensive, and
That's right.
people just can't support it. Like I get why it's hard for people to support a $8 to $10 pint. That's not easy, but costs are costs, so you got to come up with creative ways. And we kind of briefly talked about like, because we're at this kind of dynamic shift in the space, like you kind of hit a tipping point because people aren't being forced to be innovative and creative because you're like, oh, well, I can just keep doing what's doing well. And now we're hitting a point where innovation is going to thrive again, and it's fun. Like a lot of cool things are popping up because of it.
The red knight rides again.
So excited.
I am. It's going to be a great year. It's already a great year. Sober for a month.
Yeah. Speaking of non-alcoholic needs, for our number 5.
That's a good point, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Number 5, as we've talked about all month long, non-alcoholic beverages segment is rapidly growing within the space. Brands like Sam Adams predict significant market expansion with non-alcoholic beers, wines, spirits gaining popularity. Many breweries have introduced non-alcoholic products reflecting this trend. The Adult Non-Alcoholic Beverage Association reports that a substantial increase in sales with non-alcoholic beers leading the growth. So you've got other options, but the beers are leading the trend here. The segment rising popularity is further supported by the impressive growth of the other categories as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't really get behind the wines.
The wines were tough for me as well.
Yeah. It just kind of
it was like shitty Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it was like a $30 bottle of Welch's grape juice.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
I was like, how do you? I don't know. I'm sure there's some finessing in there, but
and I did like.
I was like, can you just like open a storefront and sell non-alcoholic wine, and it's just like buying the little like. They're probably $2 like frozen Welch's grapefruit and put them in a wine bottle and slap a pretty label on it, and then you can go to like any event because it's just grape juice.
Yeah. Yep.
Or you can do like the sparkling ones that you get for kids at like New Year's.
Sure.
Those are like $2.
Yeah, that would
just
be
get
better.
those.
I did like.
And honestly, that'd be better.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Same. I'm with you on that.
I mean, I'm not trying to shit on the NA wine scene here, but it didn't hit it for me. Just be better, truly, but it just didn't hit it for me.
And I did like some of the mocktails. You made some pretty awesome Mexican mules.
Yep.
But a little too much. Definitely still gave me like that sugar hangover.
Yeah.
It was a little too much for me.
Okay.
But at that point, I was like, I just might as well lick a sugar cube.
Yeah, I think like the NA liquors do fine in like mixed drinks, but on their own, like you don't throw the NA whiskey on a pile of rocks and call it a day. Like that's just too watery. You don't need it. But you throw it in like a mixed, it's fine.
Yeah, it was okay.
It
I couldn't. Yeah, for sure. It was a great craving curb for sure.
Yeah.
All right,
Number
4. Welcoming the not so new RTD Twisted Tea. Hard tea is emerging as a popular ready-to-drink RTD choice, overshadowing hard coffee in the beverage alcohol market, with Twisted Tea leading the sales. The segment has expanded from 80 to almost 150 brands since 2020.
That's a lot.
Why? Because consumers are seeking alternatives to craft beer, contributing to the expected growth of the RTD category to $40 billion by 2027. Yeah. Link to the article is below, so you can do all your fact checking there. Yeah. So
I think the ready to drink is like mixed cocktail kind of things, right?
Yep.
Basically,
yep.
The concept,
the high noons, the twisted teas. High noons are like the vodka, like screwdrivers in a can. It's a ready to drink cocktail.
I thought high noons were just like seltzers.
Or maybe they're mixing up a brand name here.
You might be right. I have heard they're more expensive, but I didn't know why. I just thought they were fancy.
Ready to drink cocktails, I think, is the...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Old fashioned in a can, Bloody Mary in a can.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all making sense now what that means.
It's all coming back to me now. You have a much prettier voice.
Oh, no, that was pretty good.
All right.
I can still see us. I think we're good.
Okay.
All right.
I can just see black.
I know. I can see us, though.
Okay, good.
Number 3, pushing new packages. The highs and lows craft beer packaging is evolving with the 19.2 ounce stovepipe cans, gaining popularity, offering a distinct shelf presence and value. Breweries like New Belgium and Bell are using this format for core beers. Meanwhile, you got the little 8-ounce cans, I like to call them little chubs, are also emerging, indicating a trend toward just kind of diversifying your packaging a little bit. And I think it just stands out on the shelf. Honestly, I think that's kind of the big thing.
You gotta compete with the little mini Cokes.
Well, you've got like, you want to have the variety. It stands out on the shelf. Usually, like the little cans, you put like your big barrel aged stuff in, right? Because you don't necessarily want like a 19.2 of it. Sure. But you have the big 19.2s. Like, then people can come in and just like grab that versus having to grab like a full 4-pack. And they sell well at concert venues. Because they usually sell the big cans.
I remember having this conversation with you a year or better ago about how with one of your closer friends in the brewing industry was like, oh yeah, you don't do the 16-ounce anymore, or you really don't do crowlers anymore. It's really about those like 19 to 22-ounce cans. Yeah. I don't know the cool stovetop name for the 20-ounce cans, but whatever. And they were like, no, that's where it's going to be. So the fact that it landed at around that 19 ounces, I was like, this is like no surprise to me right
32 is a lot. That's a big can to like tote around, and like it's
I
just
get it for sharing, but
yeah, that's a lot for on your own.
That's a big beer.
That's a big beer.
All right, number 2, brewery consolidation. 2023 saw a significant brewery consolidation. We talked about this a couple times with prominent mergers like Dorchester and Aeronaut Brewing, Westbound and Downs acquisition of Aspen Brewing and Capitol Creek Brewing, and then Great Divide and Dry Dock doing some collaboration and stuff together. All right. So this is that big indication of the growing trend in the industry, right, towards collaboration and strategic partnerships, right? We're talking about getting those prices down. That's really going to do it. And it's really only going to see it even more in 2024.
And it's not the first time this has happened. Like, this has happened before in history. You get the big booms and you get the consolidation, and it's just, then innovation happens, and it's the cycle.
And here we go.
History repeats itself, and we're doing it again.
Indubitably.
But before history totally repeats itself, we're going to hit you at the number 1. Tapping into digital. The key in craft beer industry is digital marketing has become a key strategy for brewery to broaden their reach. Breweries are leveraging online platforms to promote events, engage in a wider audience beyond their own local communities, embrace influencers to help like expand that audience as well. And have an opportunity to be a bit more inclusive and lean on the shoulders of other experts.
Absolutely.
To help push their brand, push their mission, push what they want to show, get their clients more engaged. Like, at this point, like, you just kind of have to. Like, how are you going to
get to that bigger audience?
How are you going to do it without it, right? Most people are going to come to your social presence to figure out what's going on, what's going on that week, who your food trucks are, what events are you running, maybe your website, but guess what? That's still a digital presence, right? Like, and it's pushing it beyond just photos, maybe videos if you're out pumping out videos. Craft beer is an art, and doing your social presence and your digital marketing is an art, right? Like, it's having the right content, it's speaking the right way, it's hitting your people so they know what you're all about, so you can help back in-house your missions, your visions, like your passions, and
get your product out there.
It just get all that stuff flowing together. It is just combining art mediums together, and it's not the easiest to do well. It's also not the hardest. A lot of times I feel like just not overthinking it is the way to go, and
that's just good life advice.
Yeah, be you. Embrace it.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah. As that wraps up.
That's going to do it.
Our episode for this week. Thank you as always for the support. And it said episode 13. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Lucky number 13.
13. You can catch new episodes of the Body by Beer podcast every single Wednesday on your favorite podcast listening platform. Apple, YouTube, Spotify, etc. Also all the social medias as well. We to put out little variables, little short clips and whatnot. Please, if you haven't already, rate and leave a review of our podcast. It really helps us grow, makes the algorithm like us, and it shows like people love what we're doing. It helps us improve on what we want to. On Spotify, we put a little question poll at the end of every single episode, so you can let us know what segment you like the most, so we can focus on things and talk about stuff you want to hear.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for joining us this week. We've made some super awesome memories together, and we're looking forward to doing it more. Join us next time on the Body by Beer podcast. Full of fun insights and hopefully a lot of fun. We sure do have a lot of fun making them for you. We're going to continue to explore some more fascinating tales from around the world of beer. Remember, if you have any suggestions or stories you want to share, drop them in the comments below. And we super appreciate you tuning in.
And one more final shameless plug is if you want some sweet Body by Beer merch.
Ooh, the merch store is up.
Merch store is up. Link is in the description. We've got shirts, we've got tumblers, we have got
AirPod cases,
all of them, whatever style of beer you like the most. We've got merch for you.
See you next week. Thanks for tuning in.